Dools.
Has.
Xbox Series X's event is mere weeks away. We have some predictions. We're going to talk about it, but until then, Dools, just roll the intro. Welcome to another episode of the More Cops and Duty podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harry. With me, of course, is the Costanza to my Kramer, Edward Dools Dooley. Dools, how you doing today?
Did they ever call George Costanza? Like, did they ever refer to him? Like, Jerry is sometimes referred to by people as, like, Seinfeld. Or, like, you know, Kramer, Cosmo Kramer, Elaine Bennett. See, I don't know, George Costanza. I mean, maybe his parents, like... George, whatever his middle name is, Costanza, like, you know when they
call him Georgie a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I watched an episode the other night, and it was the one where I think it's Jerry has the book Tropic of Capricorn that's overdue by like 20 years, and at the library there's a detective that's hired by the library just to hunt down overdue books, and his name's Detective Bookman. And all he does is like track down overdue books, and man, it's fucking hilarious.
I don't think I've seen that. I mean, I've seen maybe 90% of the episodes, but then there's just this elusive 10%. I still don't think, like, a classic episode, which a lot of people rate highly, The Intern. Still haven't seen it. Where, like,
which one's that one?
Well, from what I understand, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I mean, it's like it's name dropped every now and then, and from what I understand, it's like Kramer gets an intern, and that's the synopsis.
Oh my god, yeah, because he creates a company called Kramerica Industries, and he doesn't
incredible.
know what it is.
It sounds incredible.
Yeah, and it's just
don't tell me anything else. Just don't even say a word.
It's an intern from Harvard. It's so good. There's also I could go on and on about Seinfeld.
We'll do a Seinfeld episode one day. We'll break it all down.
Yeah, we should break it down every like 108 episodes.
Every scene. Nary a scene will be spared. If someone wanted to know what the More Cops and Duty podcast was, what would you tell them?
Strong Dools, very strong. I was on the tip of my tongue. You got me there. More Cops on Duty is, of course, internet's #1 film, game, TV podcast. We post twice a week. Wednesday for your prime show, Friday for your review/discussion show. Like today, you can find us on all your favorite streaming services like Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and all your favorite socials as soon as Dools decides to post. Dools, how'd I go?
You did well, yeah. Who knows when I'll post? Should be soon. I imagine it will.
Get off the mic, Dools. Get off the mic, Dools.
Sorry, Rogan. Sorry, Mr. Rogan.
I love that you're getting in there, making sure you can be heard, but like, damn, you can be heard. Dools, give us a little taste of what we're going through today, even though I talked about it up top.
Yeah, sure. So, as you said, Xbox are finally going to do their proper next-gen showcase, showing off, a bunch of their first-party stuff. Might see some third-party stuff, but mainly a Xbox Game Studios showcase on July 23rd. So, I think will be the 4th for us, July 24th for us. But
yes, it'll be 2 weeks of when this will be posted.
Yes. So it's pretty exciting because, I mean, even though, it's going to be mostly Xbox stuff, a couple things in there might be also coming to PlayStation, whatever third-party stuff is shown, but, that remains to be seen. But I think, so we'll get into it, but I think everyone is just expecting maybe a bit more info on the console itself, although it's beyond the price and, an exact release date. We seem to know almost everything, but I'm sure, we might, maybe some more. They might show off the UI or, I'm sure there's some other stuff that they can show. But beyond that, it's just games. And they really need to prove themselves after the really disappointing showing that was the first little showcase they had for Series X, which was, it might have been in like April or May now. I can't even exactly remember the month. All the months blur together. But it was just, it was incredibly disappointing. We had a promise of a gameplay showcase, a next-gen gameplay showcase. It was just a bunch of, like, in-engine rendered trailers. Like, there was no actual, like, raw gameplay. Yeah. And then it was just the biggest softball for Sony, because the second they did their thing, it's like, gameplay, just, like, nonstop. So,
they literally, they hit hard when even Jim Ryan... headlined the Sony press conference, and he was literally like, "We're not going to talk. We're going to let our games do the talking for us," and then just like shut the fuck up for an hour.
The CEO of PlayStation was on screen for no less than 20, 30 seconds, whereas in this first little Xbox showcase, they had developers and various Xbox staff members, littered in between each gameplay reel. Or trailer reel, I should say, for about, talking for like 1 to 2 minutes at a time. It's like, Sony left that stuff to the end. That was an added bonus for people who cared about it. Like, no offense to these devs, but like Jim Ryan said, let the game do your talking. We don't need all this exposition. It's a little ridiculous. There might be something wrong with your game if you need to talk to death about it, to explain what it is. So, anyway, I think they've surely gotten the message by now. I think, they're going to come in swinging, I think. And this was always going to be their marquee showcase. This is going to be what PlayStation's thing was. So I think, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and, kind of assume that they are going to come out swinging. And, I'm mostly a PlayStation gamer, but, like Halo, for example, I'm unbelievably excited for. And I think just based off, like, some of the acquisitions in recent years and amongst other things, I think there's plenty of reason for a lot of people to be excited about what they're going to show.
Nice. Well, what we're going to do today is basically just go through what we're expecting to see, maybe some wild predictions. As you're much more of an Xbox gamer than I am, I'm going to let you kind of lead it, but I'll put in my 2 cents here and there as well. But yeah, like from the top, do you reckon we're going to get a price and release date?
No, not yet. I think this will be primarily games focused. I think similar to Sony, they're kind of holding their cards close to their chest. I don't think we even get price or release date until Sony's rumored to go into detail on that in August. Still not certain. I think it's going to be similar for Microsoft. So no, not yet.
Okay. Awesome. And
what do you? I mean, do you think they might, or do you think they might just jump out early? Because there's also a rumor. There's also the rumor that it might be coming out in October, which is earlier than
that's
indicators for PlayStation.
That's what I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think that because they came out like 1 or 2 weeks before PS4, but like at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. Like it doesn't. Like look at the sales of PS4 versus Xbox One.
Exactly. Yep.
But I think they would want to come out first just to try and get that head start. But in saying that, I agree with you. I think it's announced that sometime in August, Sony are doing another press conference showcasing more games, and I think they'll release price and date then for PS4. And I reckon that Xbox would probably follow suit around then. So like they could very much. I wouldn't be like super surprised if at the end they're like, this is the price, this is the release date, it's on pre-order now. I wouldn't be surprised. Would you pre-order straight away?
I would pre-order if they reveal the long-rumored and surely is real digital version of the Series X, which is rumored to be called Series S, and it is also possibly going to be slightly weaker, but I think maybe just only a tad weaker than the PS5, because the Xbox Series X is ridiculous. It's 12 teraflops or whatever the fuck. So if that's real, if that console is real, and it's at a pretty good price point, which I think they can probably get it to be, they can probably get it to be at one. I think I'll strongly consider it. I don't know if I'll be able to buy the bullet immediately, just because I want to wait and see how much the PS5 will cost first. That's a guaranteed purchase. That thing could cost an arm and a leg. I don't really give a fuck. But I think it will dictate whether I get an Xbox, so at launch or not. But
Yeah, I will get an Xbox Series X. I think I'll probably wait till Boxing Day sales. That's just me. You know, they could come out with these games and look absolutely incredible, and I'll be like, all right, I'm getting it at launch, but I doubt that I will. Right now, I'm like 80% sure I'm not getting it at launch.
yep, fair.
But let's get into the games. So what we know is going to be there is like they're not confirmed, but it's like, you know, you could put your house on it that Halo Infinite will be there.
Oh no, I mean they have confirmed it. They've like talked about it at length now. Like it's 100% going to be there,
cool.
and they've confirmed that
awesome.
gameplay will be shown. Finally.
Yeah, but what does gameplay mean to them?
I know. But no, I don't. There's no way
I think
they
they've
would
learned.
do this to themselves again.
No, they've learned. They've definitely learned. Halo Infinite, you're super excited from it. I think we talked about this on our last podcast. That you know, it's kind of a, correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of like a, you know, heading back to the roots of the whole franchise, which fans really wanted, really loved, because they diverted after around Halo 4 and Halo 5 Guardians. Correct me if I'm wrong again. I haven't played any of these fucking games. But what do you want to see from it, other than just like basic gameplay?
So I'm thinking this will either be the opener for the showcase, or it will be the closer. It's definitely not going to be thrown in the middle or anything like this. Is either the opener or the
this
closer.
is their marquee.
I'm leaning towards it being the opener. I think they just want to go out with a fucking bang and maybe a cool new IP or something closes it. But or maybe another little teaser for that. They've sometimes done that. They've sometimes had it open and close. So I've got really high expectations. I'm not sure why. There's something about this particular entry that there's just like the hype is really fucking palpable, and it's like at a ridiculous levels in the Xbox community. So whether it lives up to it or not, I mean, it's so hard to say. I mean, we literally have not seen any gameplay. I mean, we all know what Halo looks like, but 4 and 5 were significant departures from the formula. That it's like, well, I mean, the old school art style, the music, like the trailers scream old school Halo. So it's like, I mean, are we like? So, for example, 4 and 5 added sprint and aim down sight. And that is just like, it pretty much became, it didn't become a Call of Duty clone, but it felt like it was following those trends and following the trends of modern shooters. It's like, well, no, Halo's always been its own thing. I mean, it's an arena shooter. It should play more like the new Doom, if anything. So, I think the big thing everyone is waiting to see is it just going to fully scrap all that new stuff that they've been doing and go back to basics and pull a Doom 2016 almost and just strip it back, focus on gameplay, fun first, that kind of thing. Give us a cool Master Chief story, great multiplayer, all that stuff, and just like, you know, just get rid of sprint, aim down sight, all that crap, and just give us legit Halo. It's hard for me to imagine that they're gonna get rid of all of that, because that's kind of the mark this new studio left. It's meant to be like a new studio, like, you know, it's no longer Bungie, it's now 343 Industries. So I don't know, that almost feels like they're like, it's like a defeatist attitude to just let's just do what they were doing, like let's just play it safe. Like, no, you still want to introduce some new stuff, but you just got to keep, like, because it didn't feel like Halo anymore. That's the main complaint. So it's like, surely there's a fine balance between making it feel new and fresh, but also, you know, respecting what made it great to begin with. Make Halo great again, as is the main takeaway here. So, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, obviously nowhere near as excited as me, but I mean, you've played the original trilogy, right? Or
yeah, I've played the first 3. They're great. Don't get me wrong. I've just never had such a close affiliation to it as you have. If they were on PlayStation, I might have. But yeah, like, I'm definitely gonna play it. Like, that's basically all I can say. Like, I've got no idea what the story is. I don't think I've seen anything about this fucking game. So I keep saying fucking game. I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. Like, I'm sure this game's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
And like there's nothing really I can add. That, like, if it looks great, I'm sure I'm gonna play it. I love first person shooters, so I'm all for you though. I don't want it to be a Call of Duty clone, because at the end of the day, let Call of Duty be Call of Duty. Let Halo be Halo. You know, be their own IPs. But after that, Dools, do you reckon Forza's gonna be there?
Yeah, so I think, because I mean, this is not a series I play at all. I mean, I've dabbled in its spin-off series Forza Horizon, the more arcadey kind of spin-off. But I think... So I'm pretty sure the last entry was Forza Horizon 3, or could have been even before. There's so many. But I think if they're due for one, it might not be launched. Could be like Q1/Q2 2021. But I think Forza Motorsport 8, so the main line, the more sim racing entry, I think they definitely show it off. And everyone knows how good those kind of games look. And they're so good at showcasing the new hardware. Neither of us could give a fuck about racing games, but we were both blown away by Gran Turismo in that PlayStation 5 conference.
Yeah,
we're like, holy shit, this looks unbelievable.
Yeah, we're both like, I guess we're getting a fucking Gran Turismo.
Yeah, guess we need to buy a Gran Turismo and just not play it, but just
Jesus,
gawk at the graphics. Yeah, so I think it's just so like they always just look so good. So I think depending on where it is in development, it's I don't think it's launched. We'd probably know that by now if it was. It could end up being a surprise launch. Who knows? But I really just think they want Halo to take center stage. So Q1/Q2. But I think it's safe that we see it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I've got 2 more things on my list, and then I'll I'll hand it over to you in case you have got any more blinders.
Yeah, I might have.
You definitely would. I've got 2 on my list that are rumored that we might get a Fable reboot or sequel, like Fable 4 or Fable reboot. That would be awesome. I played the original Fable and I loved it. Do you reckon that's possible?
Yeah, I don't have a ton of experience with Fable. I think I played around with the first one back in the day, but I never really got into it. I knew there was something there, but I don't know. I didn't sit down with it properly. But I think I don't know. I'm like tempted to go back. I mean, they're all available right now on Xbox, like through backwards compatibility. So even all the way through to the OG version. Because I think 2 was also received well, but I think then 3 not so much. So I think 1 and 2 are like beloved games, and so it's very weird that they didn't use this IP at all this gen. I'm not sure why. I mean. Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, they were actually working towards building when they fully announced it, and they were like it was going to come out and everything. But and you probably don't even remember, but Fable Legends, and it was going to be like a 4-player cooperative. It didn't look like a MOBA, but it looked like a 4-player co-op, like Diablo 3 type game. And I don't know what happened, but basically it was just cancelled. I can't help but wonder if it was just almost entirely due to backlash and criticism that it got, just people being like, this looks generic and it's boring as fuck. And so I might even do a quick Google search after this because I'm curious as to what exactly happened with it. But so I mean, other than that, they never really had a proper go at a proper Fable this gen. And basically the rumor is, and I think I just see it all pop up every once in a while, and I mean, when there's enough smoke, there's definitely fire. Basically, Playground Games, the guys who make the Forza Horizon games, they've like gotten big enough so that they've got a second team that's splintered off to do its own thing, kind of like Guerrilla Games, where they shift away from Killzone to do something new. They did Horizon. Apparently, these guys are doing the Fable reboot. So, and I'm like 95% sure that's going to be there. So I don't know if they call it Fable 4. I reckon they'll just go with Fable. And really establish that, this is like a soft reset kind of thing. So that'll be cool to see. I think that will be like Xbox's Horizon. They'll finally have like a proper third person action RPG, and I think depending on the quality wise, I think that could be that could really turn people's eyes. I mean, that's like a huge chunk of PlayStation's audience as well, because that's like something Xbox hadn't really catered to yet, like a first party action RPG, which we have plenty of.
I agree. Which would be awesome. Would be awesome for the console.
It'd be cool,
yeah. It'd be cool. Next part, Dools, which would be awesome. I'm a massive fan of this original game on N64. I played it. But Perfect Dark is rumored to have a bit of a reboot coming to Xbox Series X. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I never played them. I know they did like remasters or remakes for Xbox later down the track because they're Rare IP, but Rare the studio. So yeah, well, I mean, what is? I mean, it's just first person shooter. Is it stealth? Is it just like? I mean, what's the angle?
Think of it like GoldenEye.
Mm,
It was
okay.
very similar to GoldenEye, but it was awesome. I loved Perfect Dark. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, so I've heard this as well. The some people have attached because basically the Fable thing's heated up again because basically, website domains, Twitter handles are popping up, and the same thing's happening with Perfect Dark. So and it's all like happening like it's all like popped up in the last week or so. So it's like convenient timing. There's a rumor that the Initiative, which is the ones like back in E3 2018 where Xbox announced all these studio acquisitions, and this was the one that they announced that they were building up from the ground up. So they weren't just buying the studio, like they were just creating it from scratch. And then this was like a first, like they were coining it a quadruple A studio. Like, all right, guys, like let's see them make a game first, but okay.
I remember that.
So so and that's kind of like a big, obviously that's their first game is going to be a next gen title, but the rumor is that they might be doing the Perfect Dark reboot. And to be completely honest, despite not knowing a ton about Perfect Dark, it's like your quadruple game is going to be another shooter. Your quadruple A game is going to be another shooter. So it's like, I mean, that's already what you guys are known for. I'm not so I don't know about that. Someone might be working on Perfect Dark. I think there are plenty of other studios. It could be second party. It might not necessarily be first party. But yeah, I don't think it's those guys. I think whatever the Initiative's working on, it's still pretty far away. I mean, it's like, they've been working on it for like barely 2 years. So, we might get a little in-engine teaser of whatever that is. But if it's, I don't know. I mean, it could be Perfect Dark. It could be. That just seems weird. But yeah, I think it's possible we see it. But then again, that's like another strange IP to resurrect. Like, who's asking for Perfect Dark, I wonder?
Yeah.
Besides you, I guess.
I was a fan of it on N64, but there was no point in my entire life where I'm like, fuck, you know what I need? Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark.
It's definitely not something that I've wanted. Like, we've got Ubisoft next week, and that might have Prince of Persia being rebooted. That's something that I would fucking love.
That's something I see talked about. Prince of Persia is something I see. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've where are all the Perfect Dark fan sites and fucking fan social media accounts and all that shit? Like, no.
Yeah, where's the Perfect Dark movies starring Jake Gyllenhaal? Nowhere to be seen, Dools. That's all I've got on my list. Do you want to pick out some points?
Yeah, sure. So, I'll kind of run through some stuff, and you can give me your 2 cents, Hads. So it's already been announced, but I think we're definitely going to get like maybe a bit of a gameplay showcase of Rare's new game Everwild. So I think that was first shown last year. It's like this like kind of like very artsy looking
Everwild.
I think action RPG. I think. I mean, it looks. I don't know if we know that it's definitely action RPG, but I mean, it looks like open world, artistic, third person. So I mean, I'm just kind of making the logical. I'm just kind of making the logical jump to conclusion that it is a action RPG. Really has a really cool art style. It's like I mean, the cartoony stuff is being done to death a little bit, but there's something about this. It was almost like seeing Breath of the Wild for the first time. It's like it kind of like it's quite striking. So yeah,
I'm looking at it now. This looks great.
It looks pretty cool.
Looks great.
So I think we'll definitely see a bit more of that. And if I had to guess, this could be like a holiday 2021 title because it looked pretty early when it was first announced. So yeah, nice. I think I'm keen to see more of that. Again, another like they're cutting PlayStation's grass a little bit with the action adventure genre. So which I think again they've just needed for a while now. So I think I'm keen to see more of that.
Cool.
I think so. Obsidian, another really strong acquisition they made. I think so. Their last game was The Outer Worlds, and they also had some other little tiny passion project thing called Grounded. But I think I think it's like this little multiplayer thing that
I still got to get around to The Outer Worlds. Would you recommend it?
I would, if you liked, like it's like Fallout 3 / New Vegas in space, except like much shorter and smaller. Like respects your time. You can do everything, like all main quests and side quests in like less than 30 hours.
You really sold it to me then. Like you fucking sold
respects your time. Yep. Not enough games
like
do these
that.
days.
No.
It's got that like classic Fallout jank. Like it's not like it doesn't feel amazing to play. Like the shooting's not perfect, but you don't care because like story and characters are great. So I mean, they know how to write a good game.
I'll put it on the list.
Yeah,
I'll play it in like 4 years.
Yeah, so apparently they've been working on a next gen title for a while now. I think this is going to be like a full blown like hardcore role playing game. And but think like some have been saying like think like what Oblivion was to Bethesda or Skyrim even, I guess is more apt. That was really like the first thing that people started to take them seriously. Even though Fallout 3 came before, but I think the comparison is only just because it's like might have a fantasy setting, but again, none of this is confirmed, all rumors, but I think they're definitely going to be there. I think you're going to want to show off what they're working on, and
interesting, nice.
Yeah, and because Obsidian, of course, Outer Worlds, New Vegas, and did you know they did South Park: The Stick of Truth? Do you know that?
Yeah, they also did Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes,
Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith
Yes.
Lords. Yeah.
I
think we're looking at the same page.
I would fucking love for this to come back. Did you ever play Hellblade? Senua's Sacrifice?
No, I never got around to it. I saw a lot of people loving it though.
That's a good one. I think you dig that one a lot. Think
Yeah?
like a really tight 10-hour narrative experience, but with combat not unlike God of War's. Like definitely not on par with God of War, but it has that same feel and kind of like weight to it. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty fucking good.
I might pick that up.
It was a lot better than I thought it would be when I first played it. Basically, the gist is like...
Let me check the trophies on this bad boy. How do the trophies look?
I think it's a pretty easy platinum. I wasn't going for it at the time, so I missed one collectible, so I'd have to go back replay it if I wanted it. But it looks to be a very easy platinum. I got all the other trophies organically without even following anything.
Nice. Yep, trophy platinum difficulty is a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, it's like a 10-hour game as well. It's very good.
That's unreal.
So that studio, Ninja Theory, was also acquired by Microsoft, and we also saw Senua's Hellblade Senua's Saga, I think is what it's been called. So Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga was first revealed alongside the announcement and reveal of the Series X last year at the Video Game Awards, and I think we will undoubtedly see more of this game. I don't know how far along it is. I think can't be too deep into development. I mean, because it looks like it got all that Microsoft money, and again, it was a fresh acquisition. But I think it might be far along enough to show off a little bit of gameplay. But who knows? I think you definitely got to talk about it though. But yeah, Rahaz, I strongly recommend playing the first one. Unfortunately,
you've sold me on it. You sold me on 2 games straight up.
Unfortunately, if you will end up wanting to play the sequel, you might have to do so on Xbox. So no trophies. No trophies for Hellblade 2. Yeah, it's a shame.
That sucks.
I'm also... Yeah, so we already touched on it, but I'm also thinking my prediction is that we will see this digital Series X, rumored to be called Series S. Do you think we see it? Do you think we get some details on that? Or?
Yeah, now that Sony's doing a digital only PS5, I think it's strongly likely. Doesn't make sense, does it? It's likely. It's very likely.
Very likely.
To be there. Yeah, 100%, especially after what Sony did.
Yeah, I'm wondering, it can't be a coincidence that both of them are doing a digital edition for their console, right? I mean, the main difference, however, for Microsoft is that the Series S is rumored to be a little weaker, though. So just to drive costs down even more. So that could really, and I've told you a million times, but you market to PlayStation and Switch owners who, look, this could be a supplementary console for you. You can get this digital console. You don't need to buy discs for it. And you get Game Pass. You pay, $1 for the first 3 months, and then $5 for every month after that. You get basically the Netflix for games. And sorry, I think it's $10, not $5. But yeah, and
That's still unreal, though, dude.
oh, it's still a ridiculously good deal. They have incredible lineup, and so I think like that is a huge selling point. And I think if they really drive that home, if they can nail the messaging on that, and say like, look, like this could basically be a supplementary console, I think they can shift a ton of units that way. So it'll just
incredible.
be real interesting to see what this thing actually is and how they market it. Because if it's what I think it is, then I think they could maybe sell me on buying it at launch.
Yeah.
So I got a little couple crazy predictions here, but I guess I should also quickly mention. So Tim Schafer's studio, Double Fine, that was also acquired by Microsoft. I think they're still working on Psychonauts 2. Did you ever play the first Psychonauts? Is that a game you...
Nah.
Yeah.
No, I never got around to that.
I don't even know what it is, to be quite honest. I think
it
might be a platformer. I'm not entirely sure. So that was in development before the acquisition. I think it might even be published by someone else entirely. So, or they might be self-published.
Yeah, kind of looks like a Ratchet and Clank sort of game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. I mean, who knows what the production value could be like now that Microsoft's in on it. But so that wouldn't be a huge title for them. It'd be big for them, but it might not be huge. I think they might have scaled up since being purchased, and so maybe we get a look at something else they're doing. Who knows? And then there's also another developer in Exile. I think they're responsible for the Wasteland series, which I think are like these isometric hardcore RPGs, like think like a tabletop game, like come to life. Definitely not up my alley, but I think they'll be showing off some stuff as well, I imagine.
Nice.
And that
there's
is
definitely an audience for that, though. There is definitely an audience for that.
Oh yeah. From what I understand, the games do heaps well. The Wasteland series, they're meant to be like spiritual successors to the old school Fallout games. Like if you compare like Fallout 1 and 2 to like Wasteland, they just look like up-res versions of them.
That's cool.
So, did you ever play Cuphead?
Yes.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah.
How far did you get in it?
I didn't finish it. It was fucking hard.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. The art style was beautiful. It looked like a 1960s animated. It looks like Steamboat Willie, but with color.
Yeah, it looks like an old school Disney cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I loved it. I thought it was sick.
I never played it. I still want to. I'm sure I'll get to it at one stage. But
it's fucking hard. But you love your platformers. I reckon you'd kill it.
I don't mind a good platformer.
Look at me being fucking motivational over here.
I know you. I love it. Yeah. So that's actually just a second party game. It's since gone to Switch, but for a long time it was an Xbox exclusive. So my little prediction is that Microsoft will announce that they've acquired Studio MDHR, that's their name, and that Cuphead 2 is officially in development. That is my little prediction there. That there'll be a little surprise announcement in the middle of the show. And then another little prediction, which I definitely don't think could happen, because I mean, it just seems like there's too much happening in that studio. But it'll be revealed that this other tiny team at Rare is actually making a brand new Banjo and Kazooie game slash
huge.
remake. So either brand new or like
huge.
A ground up remake of the original. But
I love Banjo. Love him.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's definitely not.
So I don't think so. Similar to Sony, they're not going to disclose a price or release date yet. They'll reaffirm the holiday 2020 window, and they'll say, look, more details to come, and we can all. I think August seems to be the month that everyone's saying all this information will come out. Maybe even later for Microsoft. Oh, it might be late August for Microsoft, because this event is basically late July. As for third-party stuff, I can't really think of what... I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of stuff I'm not thinking of, but I think because they've been doing a lot of cross collaboration and cross promotion with Microsoft, but I think CD Projekt Red might actually show us like a next gen demo of Cyberpunk, like running on Series X, and just like.
Do you reckon they'll announce the latest delay to it being released in 2077?
Yeah, so I think along with the fact that you'll be able to play it on your Xbox fucking 720, whatever the fuck they call the next Xbox. It'll have smart delivery and you can play it on your old Xbox or whatever the fuck. No, so yeah, I think they'll do like a little thing and drive home the fact that smart delivery, which is basically marketing jargon for if you buy it on Xbox One, you can still play it for free on your Series X. And they'll drive home that you can do that. So I think, yeah, I mean, maybe that's possible. It would be cool to. I don't know if we've seen it on next gen hardware yet. I don't think we have, because it wouldn't make sense because it's technically not confirmed to have its own release on that yet. It'll just be patched. And the only other like significant third party showing I can think of that we haven't heard a peep out of yet, which is weird, is the new Call of Duty. And
yeah. That usually gets announced just before
it's normally,
E3 every year.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if Activision and Sony's little kind of like exclusivity deal on like showing off COD, getting first access to DLC, that kind of thing, has run its course. Maybe Sony's opted not to renew it, although I don't know why they would. I mean, it seemed like it was an easy win for them to have that stuff. But I don't know. I mean, it might show up at Microsoft's thing. Who knows? It's possible.
Yeah. Who knows, Dools?
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's basically it. Hazza?
Well, I feel like it's there's a lot to look forward to, Dools. It's a good time to be a gamer, for sure. One last question to you. Do you reckon we'll hear anything about Rocksteady?
I mean, maybe. See, the thing is, so we know this, but DC are doing like this big event called DC Fandome. I think it's like this big
dumb name, but yeah.
Yeah, so and this is going to be, I think, like mid or late August, and it's just like showing off some upcoming films, some unannounced films, some comic crap, TV shows, plus games. So, and it's basically an open secret now that Rocksteady are working on a Suicide Squad game, and WB Montreal are working on the next Batman game. Look, the more I think about it, maybe we get a sneak peek or a trailer, a very quick one, at Xbox's thing, and then we get a full-blown gameplay blowout at the DC event. So as to not... Because, I mean, you'd imagine you'd want those reveals there, but at the same time, like, this is a gaming-dedicated event, so, I mean, wouldn't you also want to show it off there? It makes... Because, I mean, otherwise... WB, they don't really have an opportunity to get on one of the major platforms otherwise and show off their games. And the Sony ship has sailed. I doubt it would be in the August thing. So, I think it's possible. But I'm not... Yeah, I don't know. Just because of the DC event, it's hard to tell. But yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I agree with you. Like, I think maybe, like, even if... I don't think they'll show... full gameplay, like, but they might, if they were to say that they've acquired Rocksteady and Warner Brothers Interactive, they might like announce that and then be like, stay tuned in August at DC Fandom for our next
they
might tease that. If
that deal is so we should say the WB Games division is actually up for sale from AT&T, and Microsoft is one of a few buyers. I think the other two major parties interested are, or three I should say, are Activision, EA, and Take-Two, and now Microsoft apparently is interested as well. So I mean, that would mean that they would literally get. So I only remembered this the other day. So I mean, Rocksteady, of course, Arkham Knight series, upcoming Suicide Squad, WB Montreal, Arkham Origins, next Batman game. NetherRealm, which is like Mortal Kombat and Injustice, and then you got like I think it's Monolith Software is their name, the guys who did the
Lord of the Rings,
Mordor game, Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. which I almost forgot about them. They're actually due to show off something soon as well. Shadow of War was like 3 years ago now. So who knows what they're working on. So that would be a huge get. The thing we got to remember though is I don't think that deal that they're just buying the studios and the gaming division. It doesn't come with all the right to use the IP however they please. They could license it out to them, and they could still continue making those games. But yeah, I mean, if they close that purchase before July 23, then I think you can imagine, yeah, they would make a big splash about that for sure.
Yeah, nice. Nice, Dools. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show today, Dools.
How about
Episode
that?
65.
How about that?
Episode 65. Can you believe that?
Wait, what? Episode what?
65.
Fucking hell, we're getting up to a big one. We're getting up to a big milestone.
We are.
Should we
We
review
are
Boogie
indeed.
Nights for 69?
Oh.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe just something else? Something a bit more risque? Eh?
Yeah. I'm not going to leave it up to you because I've done that before. Dools, take us home.
This has been the More Cops on Duty podcast. This is your weekly spin-off installment where, it's not necessarily, the biggest news of the week, but, we get into what matters here anyway. What's going to happen in the Xbox event? I mean, that's as fucking niche as it gets. But we cover it here anyway in the More Cops studio. I'm your co-host Dools. Has himself, and you know where to find us. Podcast services of your choice, social media of your taste. Have a great night. Take care of yourself. Treat yourself tonight.